what I'm excited about with this product is that this is an integration pattern that Celigo customers are actually already doing on our platform. But this release is totally going to streamline the configuration and management of that. So in the previously on the platform, if you've been syncing over in your data from your sources into your data warehouse, you're building a flow, maybe multiple flows, maybe single flows where you have lots of exports. You're configuring the object type that you're trying to do, and then you're syncing that into a staging table or directly into your tables. And we have lots of customers that use us for that, be given the flexibility that they have within the platform. But with data ingestion, we're going to make the management of that as well as the building of that even easier. So we will now have a new first-class object called a data sync, where instead of having those multiple steps, you're selecting and checking from a list of records. And I don't want to steal Tyler's thunder because we're going to show a preview here of data ingestion on the platform, but it means less initial configuration. Also really cool is the built-in schema drift. So when changes are made in those those upstream applications, when something's changed, a field has changed, it will automatically update within your data warehouse. So you're spending less time having to manage those flows. It's handled automatically. And what's really exciting is, as the poll kind of showed, is AI, business intelligence. It's important that it has that data readily available. But again, referring back to that big circle, what's great about Celigo is it's one platform, not just for the ingestion, but also for like the reverse ETL, or taking the insights that you get out of your data and pushing it back up to the applications, so that the business users working in those applications can have access to those same insights without having to leave those applications. And so with Celigo, you can do all of that from a kind of a single plane of control as well. And that really just means you have faster access to your data. It's less maintenance on both ends. And you can start activating that data faster, whether it's just traditional business intelligence or there's new AI use cases that are coming up. And so now I'll hand it over to Tyler. I'll share my screen of a DI walkthrough so we can see it live.
All right. Yeah, so what Nate's showing you here is the new data sync that's available for DI. So what you do is when you go to create a sync, basically what you choose a source. So I say I want data from Salesforce in this case. And when you choose Salesforce, you see all of the list of objects that are available within your Salesforce environment. And then you can choose, I want to sync over this particular object, in that case, opportunities, and search for orders, order feed, order history. And so, historically, whenever you built a flow, if you could pause real quick, Nate. Historically, whenever you built a flow, right, you had to create, multiple exports to grab the opportunities. You had to create the SOQL query, right, to fetch all the fields that were within that Salesforce object, because SOQL doesn't let you do like select star, right? And then you had to build that export, you had to build a flow. And so what the sync is doing is just saying, choose your source, and then choose the objects that you want to sync over. So with that, you can go ahead. And then after you choose your source and the objects that you want to sync over, you choose your destination. So in this case, we're going to choose Snowflake. Choose a database within your Snowflake environment that you want to sync these tables over to. And then at that point, name the schema that we'll be creating underneath that database, in this case, Order Analytics or Salesforce or Business Central or whatever you want to name it. And then what we will do is we'll create all of the tables within that schema in Snowflake corresponding to all of the objects that you've selected to sync over from Salesforce. And then you schedule the sync to run and name it, and then it runs on whatever frequency that you would like. And you can on initial run have an historical sync back to a certain point in time. So, if there's anybody out there that's built these flows, right, to migrate Salesforce data over into a data warehouse, you can pretty easily see how much faster it is to build a sync compared to, a traditional flow, especially when all you want to do is migrate that raw data over from a source application and into your warehouse to report against. And there's a ton of other functionality in there. We're running a little bit out of time, and we'll definitely going to have another webinar specifically just for DI. But there's a lot of benefits to DI around schema drift policies, where if new fields are added, they automatically get added. We maintain the tables for you if fields are dropped. And we give you all of that visibility and all of that functionality for you to choose what you want and how you want it to sync over. So just really awesome new offering that we've got here. Would be happy. This is kind of how I initially came onto product a couple years ago. It's been like my forte into product itself. So really excited to see everybody start using it and see how it does.